Hi guys, it's Renee. Welcome back to my channel where we as perfume aficionados discuss and indulge in my love of perfumery and other things. This is my fall edit as to what I am excited to wear or have been wearing because I'm in the DMV area. Fall is here. Even though today was set like 79 degrees, it was very cool and windy in the evening. And tomorrow, I think the high is going to be like 60 or 50, one of those. Anyways, let's get on with the things that I am excited to wear for the fall. And we'll start with this one actually. This is Field Notes from Paris, and it is by Ineke Perfumes, I think it's called. Ineke, Ineke, I do not know. She is an American perfumer out of San Francisco. And I discovered her fragrances at Ariel Shoshana, which is the local perfumery store that's here. This is a very unusual but gorgeous fragrance. It's very aromatic in the beginning, but to me it smells like this very aromatic flavored air that's around you, wrapped up in hay, and I'm not quite sure like where I'm getting from, but like I feel like it's very golden, this fragrance, with like the late afternoon sun, but it's not very hot. And in my head, I'm thinking that you're like laying on a picnic blanket with your companion, lazily smoking a cigar or a cigarette, and you see the tendrils of smoke just like going up to the sky and dispersing. And it's just the woods around you as you drink tea that is like lightly sweetened with honey, and it has the beeswax in the honey as well, or the honeycomb. I'm sorry, the honeycomb. That's what it's called. And that's what I get from this fragrance. I'm not quite sure about the projection, longevity, and sillage because I have not as of yet worn it out of the house, but I'm going to work on that. Now, from their website, the notes are coriander seed, orange flower, bergamot. I think the coriander seed is probably that aromatic sharpness that I'm noting up front. The tobacco flower and leaf for the middle notes, as well as patchouli and cedar. There is a sort of green, lightly vegetal thing that I get that is not very present, honestly. I do get a lot of the tobacco, hence the your companion with the cigar and the smoke trailing up. Tonka bean, leather, beeswax, and vanilla. I do get the vanilla and I do get the beeswax. I think the tonka and the leather sort of just like fade together at the base of this fragrance. It's not an overwhelming note on my skin. But yes, I'm looking forward to indulging in that during the rest of the fall and winter. Coming up in something that I've already been indulging in, as you can see. What is there a dent? Yes, there is. It's called Primera Perfumes out of Kuwait, and this is leather vanilla, and it is an extrait de parfum. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful beast of a fragrance. It's a beast. In terms of the longevity, because I think in terms of the sillage and projection, it's not that. This is meant to be a very intimate scent, and that is how it plays on my skin. And what you do get is like this beautiful smoky vanilla, anchored with a beautiful oud. I don't know if it's real oud accord, whatever. We'll just say oud. And a beautiful leather. And I am just with brown sugar. I know I'm just in love with it. I mean, as you can clearly see. I wear this to bed a lot. Yeah. I love that vanilla. I wear this to bed a lot. And then I also wear it sometimes when I want to amp up the vanilla, or in the base of a fragrance, or if I want to add a little bit of hint of smokiness or leatheriness or a little bit of oud, I also add that because at the base of the fragrance, that is there. This is a very base. It has a lot of like very heavy base notes, and those are primarily what show up on my skin. Um, uh, the notes are dried fruits, bergamot, blackcurrant, and saffron at the top. I think that contributes to the leathery, smoky aspect that I get. Middle is cashmere woods, cupcake, vanilla, tonka, and amber. I don't get any cupcake. I don't even know what that's supposed to smell like, to be honest with you. I do get, as I mentioned, a lot of the vanilla, the tonka and the amber all fade together for me. And then the base notes are leather, light tobacco, oud, and musk. I do get the oud and I do get the leather. Overall, I find this to be a very pleasant fragrance, easy wear, easy reach. And I look forward to really, having it put in some work this winter. All right, let's see. What's the next one? We'll talk about these two. They're together. I've recently fallen in love and in obsession with the house of Dusita Parfums out of Paris. I just enjoy her work. I have several of her fragrances at this time. Like I've gifted them to other people because I enjoy them so much. And I am really looking forward to getting more into some of the other ones that I would like to try. But for now, we have two here. This is La Rhapsodie Noire, and then this is Montri. We'll talk about La Rhapsodie Noire first. This, I think, is her most mainstream offering because even her white florals are just like big and bombastic, This is considered to be a fougere type of scent because there's a lot of lavender at the top. And I personally do not get the lavender. I hate lavender, hate it. I mean, there is like a little tint of it wrapped around like what smells to me like a big brown sugar accord in a little bit of like light booziness and then with an amber base. This is very comforting, very pretty, very easy to wear. I anticipate that I wore it in the warmer months. So I'm looking forward to getting it on in the colder months. Maybe I can experience some more of the notes that are a part of the pyramid. But so far, I have been very pleased with what I have gotten from this fragrance thus far. The notes are at the top, a lavender, mimosa, and jasmine sambac. Coffee, rum, and tobacco in the middle. I do get the rum and the tobacco. I do not get the coffee. Oak, I do get the oak. I feel like the oak and the rum go together to give it this like heavy sort of aged boozy type of feel, which I enjoy. I delight in it. Vanilla and tonka bean, that contributes to that deep, rich, ambery feeling that I have at the base of this fragrance. I really enjoy it. It's not something that I don't, it's one of those things where I don't think it goes very far from your body. And I don't know that it lasts that long. I would say probably 5, 6 hours. It's another reason why I just wear this like around the house or like out to run errands. I don't wear it to anywhere where I expect to be out for a long time, which is fine because I have a ton of fragrances and frankly, I need to wear them all. So I don't mind changing up my fragrance during the day. The next one from Dusita Parfums is Montri. This is a fragrance that she made in dedication to her father, who is a poet. Dusita Parfums fragrances come with a little card with a picture and some of her father's poetry on the card, and it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. Her father, unfortunately, I believe, has passed, so this is done in remembrance of him. Now, Montri is spicy, spicy, baby. Let me refresh. Oh, the oud here reminds me a little bit of the oud that is in Oud Infini, but like way, way tamed down. Way tamed down. It is very polite, in my opinion. I will not say that everybody will agree with me, but I don't think it's I don't think this is an offensive oud whatsoever. And I've worn this to work, actually. I wore it to work on Thursday. There's this light leathery aspect to it with all the spices that I get up front. And then there's like a lightly floral middle part that I don't get any like real distinct notes. And then the oud and like the amber portions of it are at the base. And this is a gorgeous scent. It is pretty unisex. I will not say that I think a lot of women, if you will enjoy this, if you are particularly attuned towards wearing the more feminine fragrances. This is firmly unisex, as is La Rhapsodie Noire. But I can see a woman wearing La Rhapsodie Noire easier than I can see a woman wearing Montri. If you are more inclined towards the solely feminine fragrant aspects of the Fragcom. So, did I give you the notes? I don't know that I gave you the notes. Hold on. Let me get that back up here. All right, let me give you the notes. The notes are saffron, oregano, and cinnamon at the top. Those would be the spices that I was talking about. Rose de Mai, Damascena rose, and leather in the middle. Rose de Mai is a type of rose that Dusita uses. Actually, her name is not Dusita. Dusita Parfums is her house. I can't think of the name of the perfumer off the top of my head. But there is a lot of Rose de Mai throughout almost all of her fragrances. And Rose de Mai is one of those that I struggle with. It gives me migraines. I'm happy to report that in Montri, it is way, way toned down. It blasts in some of her other fragrances like La Douceur, Siam, Oud Infini. It's so present. Anyways, that's not what I'm here for. Let's go on. And sandalwood, vetiver, and cedar. It's just like woody, ambery base to me. And I enjoy it a lot. I think it would be beautiful in the spring in the fall, winter, and I think even in the spring. I think it's pretty much a year-round type of scent, or at least that's how I wear it. But I do think that in the fall and winter it'll be beautiful, and it is one of the longer lasting ones from Dusita. Her fragrances struggle with a bit of longevity issues. Next up is Oud Aquilaria from OmanLuxury. This fragrance has me in a chokehold. I smelled this at Javoy in Paris and I knew that I had to have it. And then when I came back to the States, this was one of the first ones that I ordered. I have several from this house, but this is the one that I ordered the first. And this is the one that I wear the most. Now you will look at this and think, wow, there's not a lot that's missing from here. But two things: it was filled up to the brim. And the second is that this is a beast. This is a beast. When I tell you, you do not need a lot, you do not need a lot. And I am just amazed by it. I can't tell you the last time I sprayed the cap and it still smells just like I sprayed it yesterday. Oh my Lord. Now the perfumer for this is Dominique Ropion. It's so beautiful up front. It's like nice and juicy. There's this like fresh tartness. Oh, and then there's this cypriol oil is in here. Oud is in here. There's amber in the base. There are some floral aspects that I like. I really can't detect what they are. There's a spice here that I'm not sure that I like. It's like, it almost smells like nutmeg, but it may also be like kind of clovish and woody. I'm gonna leave this. It's in the contender for spraying on me tonight for bed. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. It's gonna be beautiful, beautiful in the cold. Oh my goodness. Notes are on the top: apple, rosemary, pink pepper, Damascena rose, Bulgarian rose, cloves, and sage in the middle. It is very spicy. and it's very aromatic up top, but like it's not the aroma, it's not taken over by those, right? It's primarily like that tart apple, this fruity aromatic phase of it, and then it goes down into this woody, sort of dark and moody oud that is still gripped by this amber and the fruity aspects of it, and it lasts forever. And then in the base we have agarwood, which is oud, patchouli, amber, and labdanum, which are the things that comprise the amber accord. Beautiful scent, beautiful. I am told, in that I have read and seen YouTube videos, that people compare this to Promise by from Frederic Malle, who the perfume of which the perfumer is also Dominique Ropion. So if you like this, you'd like Promise, and I suppose if you like Promise, you'd like this. I see people say that it's sort of a lighter version of Promise, which I have a 10 mil of Promise. I also really like that. I don't think that they're that similar, to me personally. I don't think that they're that similar. Promise is like a little rougher, heavier. The apple, I think, is more bright and present, and the oud is a different type of oud, to my nose. But, you know, I think they're separate things. Either way, I love Oud Aquilaria, and the House of Oman Luxury has amazing perfumes. Amazing perfumes. All right, that was all the notes. Let's move on to easier things, that easier to wear things, that is. And this is Ineke Perfumes, and this is Piano Santal. Now, clearly, I like it, right? Clearly, I like it. This is one where I don't think you need a ton of sprays either, because it projects, it wears for a long time, it leaves a sillage, all of the things that we love in Fragcom, right? But I spray with abandon because I have yet to meet anyone who's been offended by this. My goodness, this is so pretty. This is this beautiful, milky, creamy, lactonic sandalwood. And it's very musky. And somehow the two of them work, that those two accords work very well together. It is gorgeous. And the spices that are up front, it's like lightly spiced. I love it. I love it. Sometimes if I'm feeling really audacious, I will mix this and Santal Astral from Primera. I'm doing the Lord's work when I do that, I promise you. All right, the perfumer is Jean Jacques, and the notes are milk, skin, sandalwood, cashmere, white musk, cumin. I don't get a single bit of cumin. Ambroxan, cedar, and bergamot. I do get like a little hint of something citrusy, but nothing terrible. Gorgeous. Get into it. Get into it. This was having a moment a couple of years back on YouTube. It was beloved by the girlies and some of the men, and I totally understand why I'm late to the game. This is sake with elderflower liqueur and a mint jalapeno limeade. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's get this party. All right, so this, I sprayed this earlier because I was indulging. But let me put the cap on so we can do the proper presentation, right? This is Cuir Affiné by Lorga Parfums, I think, actually. Yeah, Lorga Parfums. Guys, this is so heavy. Now, I threw away the box because I threw away the packaging. And I cannot imagine this and the box, you know, me having to lift those boxes and, you know, carry them to, you know, when I move out of here. This is so heavy. This is a murder weapon. So is this. It is so heavy, but beautiful, beautiful presentation, right? Like this costs a pretty penny, but like with the presentation, I can see where a lot of that money went. Anyways, let's talk about this. This is, I can see you wearing this. You're on a date because you're pretty badass, and so is your date. And you are wearing a not so new leather jacket. Like it still sort of has that new leather smell to it. It's a little bit rough around the edges, but also kind of smooth. And then you guys are sitting by the fire drinking something warm and nutty and milky. That's what I get. This is such a beautiful leather fragrance. I like leather, but I tend to be sort of picky about the types of leather that I indulge in because I can't do the heavily animalic ones, despite the fact that I do like animalic fragrances, but more like animalic honey, oud, some of the flowers, plus or minus the headaches. An animalic leather is a hard pass for me. But this is a beautiful, kind of rough around the edges, new leather jacket type of smell that is crouched in this beautiful woody tobacco note that is lightly smoky, and is accompanied by this warm, nutty accord. I don't eat nuts. I don't know. I want to say hazelnut or chestnut. Hazelnut or chestnut. But I don't really eat nuts. So I don't have the occasion to smell them that often. All right. According to the interwebs, the notes are bergamot, tuberose absolute. Get none of that. None, I promise. Milk and hazelnut cream. Okay, so it's hazelnut. Soft leather and tobacco absolute. I would say yes. With the exception of the bergamot and the tuberose, of which I get none. I think all of the notes are present, and while they are succinct enough and present enough for you to like pick out each one, it all sort of blends and goes together. The perfumer for this is Camille Leguay, Leguay. I'm gonna go with Leguay. All right. I'm trying to, give credit where credit is due for the perfumers, right? All right. So next up is this beauty here. Another one where this is a beast. Go easy. Now, it may look like I haven't worn a lot out of this, and you're right. You are right. I have not, because I had a decant, a generous decant that I was given by the sales associate through which I bought this fragrance. And because of the potency of this fragrance, it took me forever to get through the decant. And so now we are about to break open this bad girl, rather, this winter. Though to be fair, this is a very unisex fragrance. It doesn't matter. This is Overture Woman by Amouage. I wouldn't let the woman portion of it deter you, or if you like overly feminine fragrances, maybe indulge in some caution with the usage of the word woman here. I find that most of even though Amouage does gendered fragrances, all of them are unisex. Every single one is unisex, with the exception of maybe Myth's Man, and like some of the Opus library collection, but the rest of them are pretty unisex, including the ones labeled for women. But this is a spicy, saffron heavy, boozy apple brandy leather. It doesn't develop a whole lot on my skin, but it doesn't need to, right? Because what it does well. I promise you, it does well. Funny story about this. I didn't realize that I smelled so good, or that it was spreading so far. But I was doing a walking tour, when I was away visiting one of my friends, and we were just, minding our business, walking around, and, getting some learning on. And this young lady beside me, she approached me. She's like, finally, I just can't take it anymore. I just want to know what you're wearing. And she's like, it smells really good. I want to know what you're wearing. And so I told her, Amouage, Overture women. And, I find that most people who don't regularly buy perfumes are shocked by the price of them. So I told her, I said, listen, don't be shocked by the price. It is pricey, but it will last you a long time and it's worth every single penny. And she went on the website and Neiman Marcus, and she bought two of them, one for her sister. And I was like, ooh, I smell good, right? I smell that good that you're just gonna go buy it right now? Okay. Okay. I felt real good, guys. Real good. The notes are brandy, apple, saffron, bergamot, benjoin, myrrh, cinnamon, may rose, geranium. I don't get really any of the floral aspects to this. Leather, olibanum, and labdanum. Leathery, ambery, spicy apple brandy. That's what we are. That's where we are. And the perfumer is Annick Menard for that one. Overture woman. All right, next up. So I got into perfumery, unfortunately, at the discontinuation of Absolute Pour La Soie. Now, I have Grand Soie, and I do find Grand Soie to be a beautiful amber. It is not my favorite amber, but it is a beautiful amber. I tend to like my ambers a little bit rougher, a little bit dirtier. But thanks to Sebastian on the perfume guy, he told us that this fragrance house called Athena Fragrances rather, had made a dupe of Absolute Pour Le Soir. And so here we are because I needed it in my life. And guys, when I tell you, this is beautiful. I'm going to tell you right now, not a lot of y'all are going to like this. There is to me, a very heavy Uranus type of feel at the top, which I enjoy, but I think it's a combination of like civet and a particularly animalic honey. And then it's a powdery ambery fragrance. It lasts forever. It is just, my goodness, it's so good. I wear this a lot to bed, and I also wear it out. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care about wearing animalic fragrances out. All right, let's get the little bit left. All right, okay. Oh, sorry, the notes. The notes are incense, cumin, ylang ylang, cedar, sandalwood, rose, honey, musk, and benjoin. Such as they are. I do get a lot of that honey. That honey is animalic, boo. Animalic. So is that musk. All right, next up. This is Burning Rose by Carolina Herrera. This is part of the Confidential collection. The notes on this bad boy are Crimson Rose, which is rose. A rose that I didn't think I would like. Didn't think I would like this. You think I would have learned my lesson. I like almost every single one of her fragrance from this line. Anyways, moving on. Sorry, distracted. Notes are Madagascar black pepper, ginger, amber, and rose, and spices. This is a beautiful, beautiful rose. It is a very modern take on rose. I think it is not that like old sort of like tea rose type of scent. It's a beautiful fruity rose rounded out by this beautiful amber accord it sort of smells like brown sugar and surrounded by cinnamon. It's a very simple note breakdown with one of the most beautiful presentations that I have smelled in a long time. Actually, this is in contention for bedtime. I'm just gonna leave it here. It's a plus or minus a bed scent. It has excellent longevity, excellent sillage. It does a lot. So I cannot complain. All right, next up we have Frustration, and this is by Etat Libre d'Orange. Etat Libre d'Orange. ETLO. ETELTO. ELDO, de Orange. My goodness, you would think that I'm getting old, guys. I have to read from here. Etat Libre de Orange. Yeah, I'm not sure that I am pronouncing that right, but that is what it is. Now, this I smelled at a perfumery in Orlando called Legit Perfumery, and I knew from the minute I smelled it that I wanted it. I did not buy it then, though. I decided that I think I bought Gozo at the time, but I knew that I wanted this. The notes on this are, this is also the only ELTDO fragrance that I own. All right, the notes on this are cumin, cinnamon, rum, vanilla absolute, labdanum, guaiac wood, chestnut, and bourbon vetiver. I get this beautiful, heavy vanilla, a deep, dark vanilla that is crouched in this warm, smoky, milky, nutty accord that is offset by a lot of spice and a lot of booze. That's it. That is all. It's not long in terms of the wear. However, I do find that it does project a moderate projection. And I do find that it has a sillage. Like I have, had people come up to me and told me that they smelled me from over there or wherever, and they wanted to know. They wanted to know. And I'm like, all right, well, let me tell you. But, be warned, because you're going to get addicted. Next up, this is Primera Perfumes out of Kuwait, and this is leather vanilla. As you can see, I have quite an affinity for this fragrance. My God, guys, this is a beautiful, smoky, leathery vanilla anchored by a beautiful, mild oud accord with some like dried fruits and spices. It lasts a long time. It does not project. There is no sillage. This is very much like intimate moments for you and yours. Netflix and chilling, going to bed, which is what I utilize it for. The notes are dried fruits, bergamot, blackcurrant, saffron, cashmere woods, cupcake, vanilla, tonka, amber, leather, light tobacco, oud, and musk. Now, this sounds sort of gourmand when I read off those notes. I do not find this to be very gourmand presenting on my skin. I suppose there could, if you dig deep underneath the leather, the oud, and the smokiness, it could potentially be there. But on my skin, I get heavy, leathery, spicy saffron, lightly sweetened by the fruits and vanilla, leather, and oud. And it's a wonderful thing. It is a wonderful thing. I cannot complain. All right, so last two. We'll talk about this one first. This is Sappho by Lush. I sort of really like the some of the Lush fragrances that they're coming out in this one, now that they're trying to be like a serious perfume company. This was a limited edition out of Florence. However, they released it, I think, all across, or maybe in the bigger Lush stores, but I got this in the UK, in Glasgow. In Glasgow is where I got it. The notes on this bad boy, oh my goodness, guys. This is so good. Before I give you the notes, let me just tell you, since I'm smelling it anyway. I get like a deep orris, because it's sort of leathery, tobacco wrapped in like a caramel. And with some tobacco. This smells like a sexy woman that you wore to a cabaret, or to like one of those smoky wine clubs. Yeah, that's what I get from this. She's delightful. She's delightful. You know, also I get a little bit of violet. I'm not sure if it's the powderiness that makes me think that, but there's a leatheriness to it as well. So I'm thinking that like maybe both orris and violet to give me both the powderiness and the leatheriness. Anyways, the notes are jasmine, orris, vanilla, and tobacco. So I was wrong. There is no violet on here. Actually, let me go to Fragrantica. That other one was base notes. Yeah, they concur orris, sandalwood, tobacco, vanilla, tonka bean, and jasmine. Okay, um, that makes me disappointed that there's no violet in here. It smells like it, guys. But, you know, maybe it's just a part of the accord. Okay. And last and certainly not least, this is Oud Eclat by Miller Harris. Anybody who doesn't like oud, I need you to smell this. And anybody that does like oud, if you like real oud, you know, I would say that this is a beautiful fragrance for something other than the oud, because the oud here is as polite can be. And this is probably the closest that you will come to a gourmand in my collection, because it is this oud that is wrapped in cinnamon and brown sugar on a lightly leathered. The brown sugar literally lasts the entirety of the life of this fragrance, the entirety of it. This is a very long lasting fragrance, and it's just beautiful. When I went into the Miller Harris boutique in Covent Garden, um, it was Covent Garden. Um, I went in for Scurso, right? That's what I went in for. But she had me smell several, and this was what I ended up leaving with, because I figured like, you know, I'll get Scurso some other time, but it captured my heart. The notes are agarwood, tajete, which is marigold, cashmere wood, amber, floral transparent. I have no idea what that floral transparent is, and I get no florals on my skin. Fir balsam, nutmeg, moss, musk, leather, and sugar. Yeah, I get the agarwood, which is oud, the woods, period, in a rich amber accord that is lightly leathery and surrounded in this beautiful cinnamon brown sugar. It is just like, picture that cinnamon brown sugar that you get from the Auntie Annie's Auntie Anne's pretzel, the cinnamon sugar pretzel. That's the type of cinnamon sugar that I'm talking about. That is just sprinkling all over this lightly leathery, smoky oud, dipped in amber. That's, oh, and it wears just as beautifully. All right. All right, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. Thank you for spending some time with me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your fall. I've got several other perfumes that I would like to share with you. Hopefully, I'll film them and then actually post them.